The foldable smartphone market has long been dominated by Samsung. In fact, in India, Samsung is the only smartphone maker that offers a full-sized foldable smartphone experience and has been doing since the last 5 years. I know there's Techno too, but they're not in the same league, I believe. And yes, Oppo and Motorola, they also make flip phones, but when it comes to the full-sized foldable smartphone, well, Samsung is the only undisputed king. Well, things are about to heat up because we are about to see a new competitor in the space. Say hello to the OnePlus Open. Hello everyone, I'm here for Fiiber by India today, and this is my review of OnePlus's first ever foldable smartphone, which is also known as the Oppo Find N3 in the Chinese market. This is the OnePlus Open. Now this is a very interesting smartphone and it has a lot going for it, and I think this is the first attempt done so much right. But of course, before we dive into all the details of the good and bad about the OnePlus Open, consider hitting that red subscribe button for all the latest tech updates from the house of Fiiber, and also turn on the bell so that you don't miss any of our latest updates. With that said, let's get started. Now, I have personally held a lot of foldables, including Xiaomi's, Vivo's, and even Honor's foldables when I traveled to MWC. But what really caught my attention was Oppo Find N2 Fold's design, which for a foldable was very ergonomic. However, comparing the Find N2 with the Samsung Fold 4 or even the new Fold 5, yes, Samsung is not the more ergonomic here, but it surely gives you that big screen experience. Plus, anyway, in India, it's your default choice to go if you want a big screen foldable. Well, not anymore, because with the OnePlus Open, I think so we can now settle in for the big screen foldable experience, but with a more ergonomic design. Now the OnePlus Open for a foldable phone is quite slim at 11.9 mm, and when unfolded it's very slim, guys, at just 5.8 millimeters. Weight is also about 239 grams, which is technically a gram lighter than the iPhone 14 Pro Max. However, for a fold, the OnePlus Open feels quite good in the hand. The feel is reassuring, the weight is just about right. Yes, the camera bump is insane, and because of that the phone is top heavy, but the bump itself lets you rest the phone on your fingers while you hold it. Again, the grip is superb, especially with this vegan leather back. Otherwise, there's a metal frame. The cover screen has a ceramic guard protected display. OnePlus says it is 20% more durable than Gorilla Glass Victus, and there's a screen protector up top for that added protection. The inner panel is an ultra thin glass, and OnePlus has also added a screen protector similar to how it's offered in foldable smartphones. Okay, onto the hinge. Well, OnePlus calls this the Flexion hinge, which is built around a single spine, which means fewer parts are used for the hinge components, all without sacrificing durability. This aside, the hinge is very smooth, it is sturdy, it feels reassuring, and I also didn't notice any sort of creakiness while folding and unfolding it. And of course, there's the zero gap design, so no complaints whatsoever. Okay, apart from this, the alert slider is here, guys, and as you can see, compared to the one on the OnePlus 11, it is grown in size, but it offers the same good old functionality. Nice touch. The fingerprint sensor is embedded in the side power button, and it is finicky. I mean, if I don't hit it at the exact spot, the phone does not unlock, so slight accuracy issues that I will nitpick. But other than this, there's a Type-C port and an IR blaster on a high-end flagship smartphone, which is good to see. Now there's IPX4 splash resistance on the OnePlus Open, and I know Samsung offers IPX8 for its Fold 5 smartphone. But for these kind of devices, I would still advise you to use them as securely as you can. So overall, OnePlus has done a solid job with the design and build of the OnePlus Open. I think this is to date the best foldable phone design ever. The cover screen is just the right size, and because of the wider aspect ratio, the cover screen feels as if you're using a conventional smartphone. But whenever you need that big screen, you open your phone and what you get is a super immersive large screen. This reminds me, let's talk about the beautiful displays of the OnePlus Open that you get on the cover display and on the inside. Okay, there's a 2K resolution, a 6.3 inches AMOLED cover screen with a 10 to 120 Hz refresh rate, 10-bit colors, a 1440 Hz PWM dimming, and a whopping 2800 nits brightness. And before I touch down on the display quality of the cover screen, I would like to point out, and as I said a moment ago also, that yes, Samsung also offers a 6.2-inch display on the Fold 5, but since that display is tall, things feel cramped when you operate it with one hand. But this 6.3-inch display, it is wider, and I think so it feels more natural when you use it. So ergonomics wise, they have nailed it, and of course quality wise also they have done a pretty good job. Okay, on the inside you get a 7.82 inches AMOLED screen with a 1 to 120 Hz refresh rate, again 10-bit colors, and a whopping 2800 nits brightness. So overall the result here are extremely bright screens, and definitely the brightest inner screen that I have ever seen on a foldable smartphone. I mean, the brightness is so high that the chance of reflectiveness in the sun, usually a problem with foldable phone screens, is just not here. Plus, in our Fiiber display test, both the cover screen and inner display boast quite the nice colors which look very natural and accurate. Detail wise also, both panels are pin sharp, and audio output, be it for watching video content or playing games, there is this triple spatial speaker, what OnePlus likes to call it, and it gives you this nice surround sound effect during multimedia consumption. And while I won't call it the loudest sounding speakers on a smartphone, I can surely tell you that there is depth in the audio and it sounds very, very good. Listen.
प्रोसेसर के साथ आया, अभी लॉन्च किया, मैंने बोला भाई वो सेम फोन को रीपैकेज करके बार-बार बेच रहे हैं.
Overall, if you are getting this smartphone for the multimedia experience, I am assuring you that with the display and audio on the OnePlus Open, you're going to have a solid time. Great job. The OnePlus Open ships Oxygen OS 13.2 atop Android 13 with a promise of 4 years of Android OS upgrades plus 5 years of security patch updates. And for the first time attempt with software, Oxygen OS feels polished and optimized for the foldable screen experience. Of course, it's a familiar affair with tweaks here and there in the software, but these so-called tweaks only add up to the whole user experience. Things like the taskbar, which we also get to see on One UI, is here and it works exactly how it should. But unlike One UI, where you can switch between 4 apps, here you can only switch between 3 apps at once. Then of course you can multitask with 3 apps at once, and did I tell you that another One UI feature, that is the flex mode, is also here on the OnePlus Open. Again, similar features like One UI, but it's good to see things are here and things are well optimized for the big screen experience. For instance, I use Instagram a lot as I watch a lot of reels in my free time, and an app like Instagram is thoroughly optimized for the cover screen as well as the inner screen. Now, I didn't really miss anything in the software. As I said, it is polished and optimized, which is what matters most. However, there's nothing really new that I get to see here with the software of the Oxygen OS 13.2, which I haven't seen on a Samsung Fold before with One UI. Okay, superb software experience is assisted with solid performance courtesy of the Snapdragon 8 Gen 2 SoC under the hood, coupled with 16GB LPDDR5X RAM and 512GB UFS 4.0 storage. And first up, Antutu scores, and the OnePlus Open has just annihilated the previous best score set by the iPhone 15 Pro series, and by a good margin, and it is also the first phone that I have tested to score above 6 lakhs in GPU score alone. Even in Geekbench 6, the score is not as much as the iPhone 15 Pro. It is still very good and the best you can clock on any commercially available Android smartphone. And you know, these solid scores reflect in the real world performance. You see, general tasks like calling, texting, browsing, using social media and stuff are a piece of cake for the OnePlus Open. What really impressed me with the Open's performance was great thermals, especially after using a lot of camera or doing hours of gaming. First up, there's a 4800 mAh battery under the hood, and there's 67 watt charging, which takes about 40 minutes to fully charge the OnePlus Open from 0 to 100%. And by the way, the battery here is 400 mAh more than that of the Fold 5, and it easily lasts you a day unless you're not really pushing it to the limits with hours of gaming. Because if you have the big screen, you will be tempted to game on it, and believe me, gaming is next level on the screen. Playing Genshin Impact at 60 FPS on the OnePlus Open is the best Genshin Impact experience I have ever had on an Android smartphone. I mean, yes, there's no 120 FPS option like the iPhone here, but this here is an Android problem and not OnePlus Open's problem. But anyway, there's the raw power of the 8 Gen 2 chip, but I think thermals are handled well. The phone only gets slightly warm even during intense loads, plus with the vegan leather back, you don't really feel all that heat on the rear panel. Again, not that the phone heats like crazy, but generally leather backs do a better job at handling heat versus glass backs. And yes, gaming is superb on the OnePlus Open, and to give you an idea of the battery drain, well, an hour of Genshin Impact drained about 19% battery, which if I do my maths is very much in line with the rest of the competition. Okay, we are getting 5 lenses on the OnePlus Open, 3 at the rear, including a new Sony Lightia T808 48 megapixel primary camera with OIS, paired with a 64 megapixel telephoto lens and a 48 megapixel ultra-wide angle camera. There's a 32 megapixel selfie camera on the cover screen, while the inside carries a 20 megapixel corner aligned hole punch camera. Now, how's the overall camera quality of the OnePlus Open? Well, pretty good. Look at the samples. So in broad daylight, the primary 48 megapixel rear camera of the OnePlus Open takes brilliant results with well exposed photos, excellent dynamic range and good detail preservation. And see this photo, what I really liked about it is the fact that I can click my own photos by seeing the preview on the cover screen, similar to what we can do on the Samsung Fold 5 as well. But nonetheless, it's a handy feature to have it on a foldable phone, and I'm glad OnePlus Open has it. And otherwise also, I think given good light, the OnePlus Open does a brilliant job of nailing the white balance. Skin tones especially look very true to the source, and even when it comes to the details, no complaints whatsoever. Now, the 3x optical zoom lens is also capable of letting you go very close to the subject, all without sacrificing the details. Yes, there is some color disparity between the 1x and 3x, but that's ever so slightly. And by the way, there's also a 6x sensor crop available, which does a pretty fine job in good daylight. In the night, not so much, and I will talk about it in a bit. Selfies look solid, detailed, and again, white balance looks on point in photos. This one is taken from the cover screen camera, but even the camera on the inner screen takes solid photos, as you can see in this one, which I took around 5:30 p.m. in the evening during the golden hour. Love how dramatic the result turned out after the photo was processed, and of course, solid HDR performance also. And this portrait photo looks superb. I mean, if this is the kind of result we can achieve with a hole punch camera on the inner screen, I would gladly take this camera over the 4 megapixel under display camera on the Samsung Fold 5. All in all, in good light, the OnePlus Open captures stunning photos for a foldable smartphone. And if not the best, then I can surely say that the results are definitely on par with that of the Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 5. Okay, night photos, and my observation here was if the phone is given a decent amount of environmental light, the camera can take some sharp and brilliant images. Again, human skin tones look very nice and are captured quite accurately, so good job. However, in dealing with the bright light, sometimes controlling the highlights or the halo effect around the light source can be tricky, but that is something which is even tricky for a Samsung or an Apple smartphone. Otherwise, 1x photos look great, 3x zoom photos are also pretty good. Again, give it a decent amount of light and you should be able to churn out decent amounts of details in a photo. But yes, don't expect much from the 6x sensor crop results in the dark. Okay, so right now I'm shooting from the main camera of the OnePlus Open, and I'm using the preview screen. I'm using the cover screen as the viewfinder so that I can also preview my own video feed in real time. And the quality looks amazing, guys. Of course, the stabilization is on point. How does my audio sound? Because some construction work is going on right at my back, and HDR performance is also very good. And can you notice the shallow depth of field, this nice blur around me, because the sensor is quite big. So I think the overall video quality looks quite nice being shot on the OnePlus Open. And no, my skin tone is not red. It's basically because of the colors, because of the sun rays, and yeah, the environmental light around me, because these things are being reflected on the face. But overall quality looks very nice on the OnePlus Open. What do you think about it? Let me know everything in the comments. Of course, 4K 60 FPS from this camera. And next up is a selfie. Okay, this video is being shot on the cover screen camera, the front camera, the main selfie camera. And this is the kind of quality that you get, 4K 30 FPS of course. And does a decent job actually. In terms of details, skin tone especially look quite good, and HDR performance is also very nice. What do you think about the stabilization, and how does my audio sound, especially because construction work is going on around me? But yeah, this is the kind of overall quality that you get from the video camera on the OnePlus Open selfie video camera, that is 4K 30 FPS. Let me know your thoughts. Okay, while we are at it, let me also show you the camera quality, the selfie video recording on the main screen. The 7.8-inch screen, the camera on the side hole punch. So this is the kind of quality, of course, you won't be using this camera for shooting selfie videos, but decent quality if you'll be taking video calls on this thing. I think so for that kind of thing, it's pretty good. And yeah, skin tones look nice. Of course, HDR performance goes for a toss here, as you can see right here in the back. But nobody would be using this camera for recording selfie videos, but for doing video calls and stuff, I think so this is pretty nice, and definitely much better than the 4 megapixel camera on the Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 5. But yeah, that's about it for the video recording, and next up is the verdict. By now, I think I've made my point very clear that the OnePlus Open is a solid first attempt for a foldable. In fact, honestly, it feels like OnePlus has been making foldables for a long time, because it is that damn good. All the core fundamentals: a good screen, polished software, superb battery life, and a reliable set of cameras. The OnePlus Open scores high in all aspects. Now, while this phone is very good, from this point on, we will have to see how it holds up in the longer run when it comes to durability and reliability. Maybe I will come back with a different opinion after using it for 6 months. Maybe my opinion will remain the same, but for what it's worth, right now, in the current moment, I think so the OnePlus Open is the best full screen, full-size foldable that your money can buy. This is by far my favorite foldable smartphone that I have ever used till date. Fiiber rates the OnePlus Open a solid 8.5 on 10. But yes guys, you tell me your thoughts. What do you think about the OnePlus Open in the comments below? And as always, for all the latest in tech, stay tuned to Fiiber. I'll catch you all in the next one. Thank you for watching.